Hello, welcome back. Hello, Camo. It's good to see you. Oh God, it's been such a long fucking time since I have done a actual just chatting stream. Right? I feel like I need to have something else to do, work-wise, like editing. Even to you, Team Camel. However, I do have a lot of stuff to talk about. So, not a lot of stuff to talk about. I feel like it's very important. It's more like I've been gone for 2 weeks, or had been gone for 2 weeks, and so things have happened. The guy was busy doing stuff. I want to talk about it because it's cool. Oh God. I keep saying that I need to fucking go and actually properly look and watch some just chatting streams to figure out what the fuck other people do. And I keep not doing that. It's something I keep just not doing. That's probably not going to change. But we can pretend it might. Am I making mac and cheese? Fuck yes. God, I love mac and cheese. Yeah. Ugh. Where do I even start? I am probably at the beginning. I should write some notes down. If I can remember. Ooh. Yeah. So the first bit, I guess, of my trip, I just preface for the 0 people currently in chat and the theoretically positive integer number of people who will be watching this later who don't know. I was gone for 2 weeks. Was it a week ago at this point? I ain't gonna fucking double check. Some time ago, in the very recent past, I was making mac and cheese because I was reading the fucking message you sent, Camel. I was not making mac and cheese. I took a break, went on vacation for 2 weeks. Except it was actually a ruse and a deception. It was actually 2 different breaks for 1 week, roundabout each, that happened to be back to back, which is probably technically different than a 2-week break. If you think about it, an amount that is not helpful, like that sweet spot where you think about it too much to get to the simple answer, but not enough to actually fucking come to a solid conclusion, like one that's smart. So you just end up in an overcomplicated, shitty solution. It makes it sound like that makes sense. Possibly, potentially. Exactly. Yeah. The first of which was the simpler one, but also one that I have more to talk about, weirdly. Because I actually went to go visit my partner for a week. It's fucking awesome. And, oh God. How the fuck do people... You know, I think I should conclude, I was about to ask again, how the fuck do people just talk? And I think the answer is, they just don't say that part out loud. Because if you just don't say oh fuck, how do people fucking manage this? Other people might not notice that you're barely fucking holding it together. Are y'all long distance? Yes. Unfortunately, but honestly, it's not as bad as I think most people imagine a long-distance relationship to be, because we started long distance, right? We met in a fucking D&D group, and then we started playing video games together. I think I told this before, but Stardew Valley was how we started spending more time one-on-one together, and then we just kept hanging out and playing video games together, and it was a really good time, so we just kept doing that. You met your wife online? Hell yeah. Yeah, we just kept hanging out online. And weirdly, it wasn't even at one point we decided, ooh, let's try dating. It was at some point, after I'd actually gone to visit a couple of times, which is a whole other fun story about realizing, wait a minute, you could actually just do that. It's not even a bit. But anyway, yeah. After visiting, I think only one time, because one time was we were actually in physical close proximity, right? Might have been 2. But anyway, at some point we just looked at each other and we're like, wait a minute. Are we dating? I think we might be just dating, actually, at this point. And yeah, we were. Which is why the vacation I went on was our anniversary. Asterisk. we just do anniversaries whenever we fucking feel like, kinda. It was vaguely correct in terms of time, but also, who can fucking say it wasn't our anniversary? Not fucking us. And I'd be shocked if anyone else could fucking do it. How it works, right? I was like, yeah, that's why, like, things have been going. That's why I said, like, things are not as maybe bad as people would assume, like, we're a long distance relationship, because, like, we're still hanging out online. We are still doing the stuff that made us just start dating in the first place. Right? Being tolerant for another year? Nah. Fuck that shit. I am loved, motherfucker. We don't do that shit around here. I actually had a very funny moment. Not when I was on the break, like very, like in the last couple days. When my partner even just stopped, like and even like had to think of it, like, hey, listen, I'm sorry, we don't do this. And for some reason, my brain was like, hey, you should do this. This in this case being try and like subtly hint at what they wanted me to do and like ask of them, which is not a thing we do. To the point where they were even very, very, very clear at that point to be like, no, I don't want you to do that. I don't want you to try to like read my mind and figure out what I want you to do, because every other time I have told you that, and that is good, and we want to do that. You can tell it's very good, because that was them asking me to just do and ask specific things, and I was like, absolutely, I'm more than happy to do that, and it worked out perfectly. Yeah, nah. Like, motherfucker, I talk with them basically every single day. Like, the time after work and before stream is basically always just spending time with my partner. It fucking rules. Again, it's the shit we started dating for, right? You know, cute couple? Hell yeah. Fun fact, date your best friend. It'll work out for you. Yeah, there is the specific joy of, like, essentially realizing you're dating another person and be like, oh, wait a minute. Hold on, this has been such a natural, like, growth and, like, escalation of a relationship that it's just like, oh, yeah, no, that just fits. Anyway. Yeah, I want to go visit them for a week. It was very good. And honestly, it was just very nice. There are parts of it that I want to mention specifically, but just broadly speaking, it was just so nice to have, like, the person I care about most, like, within, like, hugging distance. It was awesome. We actually played a fuckload of Pokemon Infinite Fusion. Because, yeah, it turns out, being in close proximity, well, it does give you more options. Like, snuggling while we watch anime. Again, we just do the stuff we normally like doing anyway, even though it's long distance. So we spend a lot of time just playing, like, video games together, playing games. Not even, like, the same one. We spent so much time playing Pokemon Infinite Fusions, which is actually fantastic. And just doing it side by side and talking about each other's game and figuring out what fusions to go with. Like, it was just good. It was really nice. Like, playing, very much doing it together with separate games. I don't know how to describe it, but it was fucking awesome. Let me cozy in the same space is nice. Right? It is very nice. It was like one step beyond that, though, where it was, dude, I don't know, again, it was collaborative, but not on the same game. Like, they would have a question about something, and I would look it up. And I would figure out a thing like, yes, what fucking fusion should I make with this to get the most optimal outcome? Because I'm me. And then I just, like, ramble to them about possible options. And it was good. Yeah, that's one of them each one. And actually, one thing that'll be a good segue into, like, the more specific bits. Fucking cutesy. I suppose it's one word for it. Ugh. My brain has like some answer there, like figure it out. Very cutesy talk. No, I'm very intimidating and scary. Look at me, I'm Spider. You think I became the most feared creature in the world? At least the world. Universe is the... Listen, spiders, terrifying. Number one phobia is arachnophobia. People are bitches. I mean, I'm very scary, actually. It's very well deserved. Definitely not that people are kind of bitches sometimes about spiders. Definitely not. I earned every single one of those fears, personally. The baseball bat. That's the thing they don't tell you. Honestly. Like, you'd think one of the arachnophobes would mention the baseball bat at some point, but I've never seen it brought up. Your wife is one of them. Oh, tragic. Like, what even is the percent? Percent of arachnophobia. Affects 3.5 to 6.1% of the global population. That feels way too fucking low. What's the source on this? Oh, it's a German paper. Or a French... That... Okay. That definitely looks not French. But it's a paper that looks decently. A lot, though. Right? I don't know. It feels like it's more than, like, 3 to 6% of people you interact with are gonna be like, ah, fuck, no, spiders. Like, maybe it's about, like, specifically, like, no, this is a phobia-ass phobia. Not just, ew, creepy crawly, new. But I don't know. Yeah. Regardless. What the fuck was I saying? Right. The thing that leads into the more specific details and things I want to talk about. Was they at one point needed help with a little, like, a presentation video. They work as a professor. They wanted a little tutorial video for that. Who could have come with that? You would have access to a tutorial, do a thing, like, visually. And because they are the one person allowed to know about all this fucking clown fiesta bullshit that I get up to, they knew that I'd be able to help with that. And not only was it just good to feel helpful, it was an eye-opening experience in many ways. Not many ways, one particular way that is quite relevant, I think. Just me as a person, which is the fact that I think I've talked about this before. I know, like 2 streams ago. Being put in a position where there was someone else nominally trying to edit video was eye-opening in 2 very specific ways. The first one, that doesn't require more context, was just the realization of like, oh wait, no, this is like a skill set. Wait a minute. Hang on a second. Am I like actually good at this? A little bit, maybe? Because they just... Like, at the front end of it, we did do it more or less together. Like, I was handling like, okay, here's how you do that, because I just knew the details. But further along, it got to the point where, or at one point, they looked at a part of the video, the footage they took, where they had, like, messed up a line. And this was a very simple recording, where it was just them talking into the mic and recording them on, like, the presentation they were doing. So there was no extra video, no visuals, no nothing. But they didn't get a line read perfectly right. That's totally fine. It's super easy to just cut around it, make it look nice. And basically from that point on, when they went, like, it was just me, because they went, oh, that bit is really not great, actually. Can you cut that? I was like, yeah, trivially easy. And I just did it. And I just kept doing stuff like that. And just that realization of like, no, this is, it's become normal to me, right? It's like, oh yeah, I have to do video editing. The fact that that is not a thing people do and can do was just a really like nice moment of like, oh wait, no, this is it. It's always nice when you get a moment of, oh, I'm actually just good at this, maybe. Like, not even maybe, just am, right? Compared to someone who does not do this, I do it pretty fucking good, actually. And particularly that leads into the second part of that, which does require a bit more context, which is more specific points on my, I guess I was going to say like my issue with perfectionism in a weird way, which my partner pointed out too. Weird for a dude named Scuff, right? Of course, I'm sure you've been here for one of my explanations on the name, but like that's the entire point. This is how like I can get so fixated on the details when my channel is branded as Scuff. Imagine if it fucking wasn't. Oh my god. Right? Like that is what it took to just get garbage out the door, even if I thought it was garbage. It was just fucking rip that band-aid off literally like minute -15 with the name. It's like, no, it doesn't need to be good. It needs to be done. And then I promptly forgot about that, but oh well. That one requires a bit more context. A little bit. Does it require more context? I was going to just tell the rest of the story with the helping with the editing, because I was actually quite proud of how I did it. And it was funny because at the start, they were like, no, if this takes more than 15 minutes, I'm done. It took like half an hour, because that's just how long it takes. But it's like a 1.5 of like, yeah, no, not only is video editing a thing I'm actually just good at and can do competently, it also just takes a long time. Like, the reason it takes a long time is not just because, oh, I fixate on details that don't matter and spend too long on it. It's also just that it takes a long time. Even with the simplest fucking video, with the simplest fucking cuts and edits, it's like, no, getting it to actually look and sound good is kind of a pain in the ass. But specifically, on my brand of it, Gary, no worries. I will continue yammering. That's the point of this. The big thing that required more context was the, I don't know your phone password. Hey, welcome back, Kirby. The detail, more context, was one of the benefits of having a partner in close physical proximity is you can just get affirmations to your face sometimes, and that is just very nice. And just don't forget to see you. Alright, take care, Kirby. What did I reserve this one? Yeah, the specific idea of like having someone whose opinion you trust a great deal and whose opinion you value tell you their perception of you and what you do can be real fucking eye-opening. Because like my view on like, I'm gonna loop in a specific Shen Comics comic in a second. That'll make sense in a moment, I hope. But it was eye-opening in the sense of like what exactly my standards are, I guess. Because my standard has been, from my perspective, just like, I can obviously make this better. Like, this can obviously be improved. So why would I not do that? Like, why would I just leave it shitty? It'll take me, like, what, half an hour at most to make this not shitty? Opposed to 10 minutes worse. You amplify that out to a whole 40-minute video where that one bit is like 20 seconds, and oh no! Oh fuck! It has now taken you 3 years to make a video, fuckhead! But having like a partner, whose opinion I obviously value quite heavily, just straight up say like, yeah, no, you just work really fucking hard, and like the amount of effort you put into making your shit quality is astonishing. And like that specific shift from, oh yeah, why wouldn't I make it good when I know I can do that? Like when I can see that it's not and know how to make it better, versus, yeah, no, you put in every effort imaginable to fucking make it as good as possible. I think their exact words were like, oh yeah, people always say they're putting in 100%. They're not. Hell, I'm partner. You can put in at most 60% so that if I need to do more, I can. But you just do 100%? And one benefit to this, though, is they did have a very specific example of that, which is always nice. It's nice when someone can say a thing about you as a person and then also cite a source. It's like, hey, you're like really good at basketball, and then specifically lists a time where it's like, no, here is exactly why I'm saying this. I mean, like, okay, no, that does make sense. In this case, though, with the like amount of work, which again, I constantly feel is like, no, my ADHD riddled brain is making it impossible to do more than a trifle of effort per day. Oh, terrible, awful. If only I could do more. Meanwhile, my partner pointed out that during September 2024, so not last September, the one before that one, I did actually post something every single day of Swordtember. And according to them, which I also believe, but I have less memory of because I was, busy, so I didn't feel that way. But they said, like, yeah, no, they just didn't see me for a month. Which is a little bit of an over-exaggeration. Like, I know we did spend some time together, but I also know I was busy literally every day. Right? Like the plasma pistol build, in short. I started work on that at, like, 2 in the morning. And I finished work on it at like 10 at night. I woke up really fucking late the day before and just did not sleep. So it's sort of hard to say, oh, I wish I could be putting in more effort and more work when you are literally running out of hours in a day. Yeah, just having that perspective shift where the realization of like, no, this isn't just like, yeah, of course I'm trying to make it good. Why wouldn't I do that? But I'm supposed to be like, no, sanity check. No one else does this. I think that's the best, the succinct way of putting it. The sanity check of someone going, no one else does this. No one else would fucking put this much, would give a shit. It's like, I will agonize over, oh no, fuck, if this 15, second bit, they're 30 minutes into this fucking video, is just general B-roll of related stuff, I'm gonna fucking explode and die, probably. It could be better. This is slightly boring. I'm pretty sure my videos are a fucking, barrage at this point. And just absolute mile a minute, but I'm kind of afraid to check because, yeah. God, I'm trying to start easy at night. Fucking hell. Went down the wrong hole almost. Took a big sip of coffee. I was like, go down windpipe? Windpipe noises? God, even Skyrim's fucking suffering. God damn. Oh, okay. Yeah. To bring back in the Shen comic one that I mentioned, it was a more, I guess, personal realization for the good versus perfect comic. To paraphrase, so you don't need to go find it, or I don't need to go bring it up on stream. Good and perfect. Dudes in t-shirts with the words written on the front. We could have been friends. no, we couldn't have. Good to perfect and perfect back. And first of all, it's just a very good comic because, yeah, you don't really need to have it explained to you. But unfortunately, it also means you might not get it. Like, I didn't really get it for a while. And I'm trying to find... I'm losing my own train of thought and words. But the idea of, for me at this point, the realization that, oh, good is not just whatever, as good as I can make it, right? Not doing the thing that will make it more good does not make it bad. Trying to make it as good as possible to the point where there is no obvious improvement to be made is trying to make it perfect, right? And also, actually, the idea or like the thought of, I don't know if this is even technically how the fucking etymology works, but it feels sort of correct in my brain to go like, things can be perfect, but not even good. Perfect just in the sense that it could not be made any better. Of the form it is in, it is perfected, right? I don't know if it's just perfected. You can perfect a really shitty punch that is guaranteed to break every one of your fingers, right? You can get to a point where it is impossible to throw a punch shittier than that. I don't think anyone would call it good, though. Right? Like, you can perfect something that is not good or helpful or useful. If you can't be good at it. Huh? It feels like a very it feels like an entirely different bit of advice. Not necessarily bad advice. I will need more explaining of it though, but just different. Like, it's supposed to be like the idea of like, it will be good without being as good as it could be. And that realization was weird in my brain. Again, my driving philosophy was, if you can't do good things, be good at the things you do. Not totally unrelated. No, totally unrelated. Okay, good. Or pressing that. That feels like advice I don't even necessarily agree with, wholly. Just for the idea of, like, if you can't do good things. I'm gonna say this, like, to surprise myself, like, that does not sound like it is inherently... Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it feels like... It could definitely have good... I never read into it. I will give it will at the very least sounds like the exact people you think would read into it this way are gonna read that as you can be a shitty person as long as you're good at what you do. And the people will just use it to be like, oh, fantastic, I'm great at being a shitty person. That's basically like being a good person. And I don't want to like immediately slap the thing as like, oh, it's bad. But it sounds like it definitely could be read as shitty very easily. Gotta commit to the bit. God damn it. But regardless, just... I don't think I've implemented anything about it yet, but the idea of not trying to make it as good as I can, but just trying to make it good is a thing that I am actively chewing on like a fucking, like, jawbreaker. And it is, because I should go back to the example I sort of gave of, like, if this 15 seconds of video is just generic B-roll. It's like, I have seen videos with just B-roll of borderline random bullshit that is vaguely related to what is going on as, like, the entire video. And when I say like I've seen videos like that, I mean like I watch them for fun because they're good and I like watching them. And it's weird in my, it's like, weirdly the fucking most recent video that I'm working on, the one should come out should come out a while ago, but whatever. Is there a part of that where it's like, yeah, no, some bits are just sliding a sheet around to look at different parts of it, with also way more involved blur effects to cover bits, but oh well. Like, I don't know. But that does actually sort of lead into another thing, another realization maybe I've had over that break. Still the first half of the break. Whoops. Which is like, it's gonna circle back to become more related to this in terms of like figuring out what I would consider like good enough, and like having a plan. Because trying to figure out a new thing over time is difficult. But I think it's more helpful, like tied into a bigger thought I had, which was like over that part of the break was, I guess, like another realization. I feel like I've said that too many times for too many things, but oh well. That for a very, very long time in like my content creation, possibly like almost all of it, like if not almost all of it, then by the time any project actually got done, it was folded back into this idea of just doing projects and getting the stuff done, right? But I mean, it wasn't, it was just like, oh cool, I have the scalpel build to do, and then I'll finish it, and then it will be done, and I'll move on to the next project. I think I realized I didn't really give a huge amount of thought, was like an idea that feels incredibly like sanctimonious almost to say what I've been calling it, but it feels also like correct. Like the dream, like big quotes, essentially in like the idealized version of like the idea. That was the full thought. So much of what I've thought about, like, being a streamer and a content creator has been just looking at streamers and content creators I like and going, wow, it'd be cool to do that. Right? Like, basically, that's the thing. The thing that most people, I imagine, have similar feelings about and dreams of. But also, I'm actually doing it, right? Like, I'm here. I'm in the trenches at this point, right? And I hadn't focused more specifically on just the, okay, but like, what does that look like for me? Like, what is my image of that? And I really didn't really like hammer out the actual idea. And I feel the reason why that I bring it up and why that matters is I feel like it's part of why a lot of my stuff is stagnated at placeholders or one step above placeholders, because I got it done because I felt I needed one, like the face. Hello. But not really went beyond that because I was too busy doing projects to try and just like, okay, cool, now I want to get like a better like avatar, right? I want to just commit to fixing my fuck-ass mic. I had projects to do. And that's definitely something I want to dig into more once the projects are done. But just hammering out like, okay, no, what is... When I look at making it, what the fuck does that actually look like? And what will it take to actually get there? Because it is not just like doing more projects. Not just as I've been doing it. That's the thing I want to hammer out. Right over the break. What else? How over that specific chunk? I think that was actually everything that like super relevant to happen over the first half of the break. That feels incorrect, but I also think I would just be repeating myself at this point if I tried. Check my notes out again. Video editing. Excuse me. Hard. Screen. Oh my god, like. Oh yeah, during September I just disappeared for a month. That makes it, that works out. Ugh. So that was how I spent one of the weeks. These parts I spent one of the weeks. Where's my nose starting to hurt? Oh my gosh, this always fucking happens whenever I start streaming. I do not know why. Ah, fuck. Terribly sorry. Started having a nosebleed. Nowhere. Like, hey. Ah, fuck. I very, very nearly did not get dropped blood on my shirt. Give me one moment to go deal with this, so I don't, bleed everywhere. This one. Good enough. Fairly sorry if I sound now weird and a little bit congested. Congested? I have a bit of fucking toilet paper rolled up and shoved up my nose because blood. Oh god, nosebleeds are so annoying. Like, I love blood as much as the next very normal human person. But like, it's like, oh, cool. Why is there blood? It's like, well, you see, humidity? Question mark. Up or down? I think it's down. Honestly, I'm trying to think now. It's just fucking whenever, or at the very least, when I go from high humidity to low. That's not even true. I was fucking in my lab for the last couple hours. But honestly, back to my fucking trip to visit my partner for a bit. Nosebleeds then were fucking annoying. Like, more than once. And honestly, one time, it was especially bad. And I think I was just like, just shitty sleep. Because one night, literally right before bed, I got... Why is Twitch saying connecting to chat? Twitch, what are you doing? Nothing? Okay, fine. One night, right before bed, I got a nosebleed, and a pretty bad one. So I go deal with that. My partner, like me, has a very rigid and regular sleep schedule. They are in bed normally well before stream even starts, right? Like, the standard is they're asleep before I even announce that the stream is fucking happening. However, this will do a moment where I had to go to bed, but then I went to go take off my nosebleed, and then when I went back, my partner was already like asleep, and for some reason, I think like, for some reason is just like also every other time I've stayed up way later than I should have. Well, everyone was like, "Oh no, don't wake them up. Like, don't bother them right now. You can just sneak in later when you're more tired." Yeah. Anyways, cut to like 4 a.m. when I'm trying to fucking slink into bed, and they fucking catch me immediately. They're like, "Ooh, bed." That's very cute and nice. But yeah, no. And then I was like, no, I want to fucking actually go to bed. Not even just because like going to bed cute, but also because like waking up is a pain in the ass. My nosebleed's not dealt with. Apparently I just spit blood onto my fucking shirt. I don't fucking fix that again. Blood did. Yeah, not dripping blood off of or all the toilet paper to my nose. That's annoying. Alright, give me a moment. Oh, way to go, doctor. Brilliant idea. When do you want to have the worst fucking nosebleed of your life? Oh, midstream? Brilliant fucking idea. Yeah, I have never in my life had nosebleed so bad it just bled straight through the toilet paper in my nose, like the plug, and then just like a little bit down my face to the point where I'm spitting it over myself. Which leads to me having to go get a fucking new change of clothes as I threw my old ones directly in the fucking wash so they wouldn't get stains. For advice though, don't do what I did, which was try to immediately throw them in the wash. You get them into some kind of water, because the blood seems to stain basically when it dries, right? So as long as it's wet, you still have time, or at least more time. I still have the thing in my nose. I think the fact that I'm talking is not helpful, because the second I was too busy trying not bleed everywhere to yap and I had to shut the fuck up, it's gonna get much better. You'd think that would mean it was solved at this point. It's not. We're still just dealing with it. But yeah, anyway, yeah, the falling asleep, a big problem. Anyways, yeah, continuing on from the story where one night didn't go to sleep at the right time, so I was like, fuck, I want to do that, because otherwise I will wake up at like noon, and I'm with my partner. So I was like, no, I want to go to bed at the correct time. It was actually fucking rough. Like, it was actually a struggle. So like, no, not just like, even like, not just like, oh no, like, did nothing, like, oh, you were alone, and oh no, like, no, fuck that. Even with my partner there, just laying there, trying to sleep, and trying not to move too much to wake them up. Actual like 15 minutes to 20 minutes of just nothing. Oh, it was rough. It was not fun. I mean, that was actually not fair, because it's not my partner, but, you know, there's a reason why my sleep schedule is the way it is. Falling asleep is a pain in the ass. At least I did try melatonin, and it did work, and sleep was not good. Distinctly not good, but, like, not bad also. Like, I had distinctly not good dreams, but they weren't actively bad. It's like a flight that got canceled, but then it's like, well, actually, maybe fuck that trip, actually. It was just, like, not really a thing we were excited about, and now we still have to do it. But it's still a dream about getting a flight canceled, which was not good. It was weird. Yeah. No, these why I'd sleep bad. On to the next fucking week of my break, which is also a very relevant one, actually. And more complex, I think, on the whole. But thankfully, a little bit easier to explain, because it was like, realizations about myself and yada yada. No. This one's much realizations, but not earth-shattering ones. I'll double check to make sure my nose is. We can see if my nose isn't bleeding anymore. We seem to be in the clear now. Yeah. So that was the first week of my break. The second week, I actually had family come visit me because we live nearby a bunch of conventions that were going on. They just come and stay with us. We can do a bunch of conventions. A bunch of them were like weeb shit, essentially. Not literally, but like nerd shit, weeb adjacent. You know that kind. Like not Comic-Con. Right? But the one that I actually want to talk about, because it has more long-term ramifications, was actually a pet expo, which I think also had like dog and cat stuff. I did not even fucking look at that section. If it was there, I was at the weird shit aisles. Specifically, I was looking for arthropods. Of course I was. I'm me. Unfortunately, there wasn't like an overwhelming selection of cool bugs. There were some, definitely some. Like the first booth, my dad was there because I was being visited with my family. First one we went to was one that was like, oh yeah, here's like stag beetles. It's really like stag beetle larvae, so you can see them like hatch and pupa and like grow through the whole life, which are like a year, which was really cool. But by the end of it, like, it was not. It ended up on the short list. Which is sort of what I'm going to get to rather quickly because it was a really cool pet expo. But that's sort of... I don't really want to know too much detail on it because it was just like cool. Really cool. Like there were cool lizards and snakes and different like bugs. The cockroach, just like as a thing, which is very funny, though they're mostly used as feeders. Tragically, I have no great excuse to have any, and my roommate does not like the idea of having cockroaches in the house on purpose. Tragic. I also have like a bigger one, like the really, really fucking huge like Madagascar hissing ones, like the massive fuckers. Regardless, didn't get any of those. By the end of it, after going through all of the different places, and like, honestly, if you have like a reptile and arthropod, like a weirder pet expo anywhere near you, go fucking take a look. Because, oh my god, the zoo wishes. That's not true. It's on the smaller scale, of course, but the number of mostly reptiles, honestly, mostly snakes and geckos specifically, was immense, and there were so many fucking cool animals, and it was like it was so difficult to pick a favorite. And like the first like 24 I went to were like, this is the coolest shit ever. There were some places that had like these massive isopods, like massive isopods. Then when I went back to at the end, they didn't actually have them anymore because they got sold out. But regardless, what does that matter? Why is something that's worth bringing up and specifically worth having a thing to skip to specifically? Because at the end of the day, I did actually find a couple that I was actually really, really interested in getting. Technically, not why I went there. Technically, I just wanted to go there because it was really fucking cool, and I had the opportunity, and like an excuse when I had a bunch of family visiting. This changes nothing. One of the short list ones was that stag beetle from the beginning. Obviously, having a cool stag beetle is cool. The other one, I'll spoil this now. Actually, the stag beetle didn't make the cut because it was just too short-lived. Like, it would be a year before I didn't have it anymore, right? Although very funny interaction with that one, and another of the shortlist contenders, which was actually just a snake. Not even a little bit what I went there for, but also cool snake. The comparison with the snake was from my dad's perspective. The other thing was like, oh, well, you know, the stag beetle, you're getting the beetle, and it's like, I think it was like $200. And like you're getting the tank. So like with the snake, you have to get the tank separately. It'll equal like basically the same thing. I knew it beforehand that was not going to be how that worked out when we went to go check. But probably let's set the third shortlist one, which was actually a Vinegaroon, which is an arthropod that I had been eyeballing for a while because they are so cool. They are like I think I've described them before as like an arachnophobe's paralysis demon version of a scorpion, or like a long spider, but like with none of the bite, like with none of the actual oomph. The reason they're called Vinegaroons is because their form of defense is a defensive spray of mild acid. Literally just vinegar. I think it's literally the same acid that you find in some like table vinegars. And that's it. That's the most they can do to like someone of like human scale. It's like a cricket. Oh shit, they are demons. Because they get very big. They get very big and large. But it's because they can live for a very long time. Yeah, you know when I said the stag beetle lived for a year? Yeah, Vinegaroons can live from 5 to 10 to even like 15 years long on the short end. Females can live up to 20 years. This is quite abnormal for arthropods, and puts them solidly in like dog range. Hell, I'm pretty sure even like like a fair number of dogs don't live that long. Like, how long do golden retrievers live for? 10 to 12 years! Even the shorter-lived vinegaroons are fucking matching or beating that. But they're like, usually, the one thing is like, there's basically no captive bred vinegaroons. They are found in like the southern United States. You can just find them, they're just local there. I don't know if they're actually native, but you can find them. And because they're very hardy, and they live for so long, and get so big, and they get fucking big, they just get caught in the wild. That's typically fine, because again, they live for so long, even if you get like a 7 or 8 or 10-year-old fucking vinegaroon, you're gonna have that for a while. And because they're not a super sought-after pet for some reason, I don't know, Arachnophobes sleep paralysis demon, can't imagine why that's not a more popular pet. They're not the most expensive thing in the world. So they're not super valuable. They're easy to find in the wild. They take forever to grow, right? And actually breeding them is quite difficult. Doable, but not easy. So you need to be like a very specific kind of arachnid nerd to A, even give a shit, and B, actually go through the effort of trying. I'm also quoting the guy I bought, I'm spoiling, but bought Junior from directly there, because the vinegaroon in question is a baby. Like, captive, born and, like, bred baby vinegaroon from that specific kind of arachnid nerd who just wanted to breed vinegaroons because they could. Like, when I say they take a long time to mature, I mean that Junior is not going to reach full size for, like, 5 years. But also, he's a vinegaroon and looks really fucking cool, and is also a baby, which is just, like, an amazing storytelling. That's not a story you get with other pets. It's like, no, this is a motherfucker I found. This is not like a... Like, I don't even know. Like, this is not a normal pet. And I love him for that. I was actually kind of angling for a female vinegaroon because I'm fucking insane. But, nah. Now this one is mine. Junior is my little baby boy. Although, I will say, the guy that I ended up buying him from, for like $50, and they're not super valuable. This is not the guy that originally raised him, right? This is the guy that got second. But he did not seem to know super much about vinegaroons necessarily. The big one being that he said that they don't burrow, which they do. They definitely do. They absolutely, definitely, 100% do burrow, right? I can tell you for certain. Because Junior sure do be burrowing. Not a huge amount now. Because I know I got him fucking like a week and a half ago. But he's not staying fully above ground. And I have good reason to believe that he's going to go further below. Based on any of the research I've done. Oh my god. It's so good. But he was also on the short list. He also did not actually win on the short list, which is the wild thing. Yeah, remember that snake I mentioned before? He was essentially a rescue. He was at like an adoption agency place. He was a former pet. All I know is that he's 10 years old, and apparently he might not have been fed super properly as Old Place because he was a little bit undersized. But he was also about $50. Hence why my dad thought that, you know, after we bought the tank for him and all the stuff for it, it'd be about even to $200. Oh, how wrong he was. Yeah, turns out snake aquariums are really fucking expensive. Just the box, not even the stuff to go in the box, just the box. Or God forbid the stuff around the box, like heating lamps, just the glass bits was like, I think off sale like $600. Oh my god. Or maybe it was like I don't know. All I know is that it was fucking expensive. And I sort of knew that, and we talked back and forth like, do we want to even fucking do this, or is it too much? And at the end of it, we did decide to go for the snake. Shoelace. He's my little precious noodle boy. He is a corn snake. He is a shoelace. He is very dumb. I have immediately put a shoebox in the terrarium with him, just because I had it, and it's like, cool, more hides for him to be in. And before I talk more about the snake, funny thing happened though when I was talking to my dad about like which one should we get, because we had 3 options there: the stag beetle, that didn't end up winning, Junior, and Shoelace. Because Junior had the problem of it was gonna be years before he was like a good size for Vinegaroon, and that was a little bit much for like the pet you got, right? As also correct, because like he has been an absolute dream to have while I've been desperately trying to figure out how to take care of a snake. Because he's just instead kept in the little like acrylic box, like he came like, which honors mark against the guy who actually bought him from, was also full of isopods for a bit. So it was actually an isopod box. You just put the Vinegaroon in. Do not fucking do that. When the Vinegaroon starts molting, they go underground and burrow, and they just don't move for a while as they molt. Because they're very long-lived animals. They take a long time to molt. And isopods, when they see something not moving for a long time, that's food now. That's what food looks like. And they will just eat the Vinegaroon while it is molting. Don't fucking put them with isopods and shit. Anyway. Yeah. Right, so it takes so long to get Junior to a good size. However, that did mean that like the instant, the plank length moment that Junior stopped being main pet, Junior started being a really, really appealing. Well, why don't we just also get that one? Why don't we also get the Vinegaroon? It's $50 and is way, way, way easier to take care of. Right? Like, no, $600 terrarium here. No, it's like a box of dirt. They are not literally, but like they're much easier to take care of. And so I also did that. So, yeah, now I have 2 more pets. I still have Bryce, the spider I found on my wall. Tragically, Fisher has passed a while ago. I'm currently setting up his old digs for Junior. But yeah, no, I've got Shoelace and Junior, my corn snake and Vinegaroon, and I love them both very, very much. And owning a snake as a first-time snake owner has been a fucking trip, because so much of it has been freaking out and being scared over totally normal activities for a snake. Like, totally normal. The example, it happened like 3 days ago at this point, I think, is Shoelace hanging out on the cool side of the tank. That's obviously not necessarily a problem. Like, you set up a tank with a cool side and a warm side so that the snake can self-regulate body temperature. Part of the problem, though, is that he's spending basically all the time there. And also that I have been having a really hard time actually making the tank warm enough, period. Like, anywhere. Like my lab is not a super warm area, right? So keeping it warm enough for a snake has been a little bit tricky. So when he's just like not moving on the cold side, I started freaking the fuck out because like, is my boy okay? Is he fucking frozen? Did he become a fucking snakesicle? And it's no, like he's absolutely fine. Same thing with the first time I got to feed him. Oh my fucking god. Like, my dad was still visiting when I got to feed him, and both of us were like, that is too big. He is not going to be okay. But he seemed fine. It may have looked like his mouth was about to fucking tear, but like afterwards he was totally fine. And it is driving me a little bit insane. Like, so much of it is just, I don't know what is normal. so everything seems scary and weird. Like, I don't know if I'm annoying him sometimes. It's like, cool, am I annoying him? And this is a sign of, like, he's pissed and wants to be left alone. Or is this just regular snake face? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. And it's been a hell of a fucking journey in the last, like, 2 fucking weeks. Oh, I just need to get, like, his tank fully furbished. Hopefully that won't take too long, but, Well, a fun story about that, though. I did have a very fun realization, because, well, no, me and my dad took was to, like, a beach area. We picked up a bunch of driftwood. Not for this, it was, like, a long time ago at this point. But, we had a bunch of driftwood. That seemed perfect. That seemed amazing for a terrarium, right? Beautiful. I give you pay good money for driftwood. It seems to be, at least there's a good chance, pine. And pine's not a good wood for snakes. They're full of, like, resinous stuff, and it's just bad for snakes with the stuff that's inside them. Not bad, like, obviously, like, in nature where they're going past them briefly. But unfortunately, this would not be briefly. This would be where Sule spends the rest of his life. So we can't use those, I guess. And I've been trying to find information on, like, other stuff for it, but it has proven a little bit tricky. I'm gonna keep looking. Hopefully it won't take too much longer. But, yeah, I'll probably have more news on that. Hopefully sometime in the not-distant future of, like, making stuff and doing stuff. Yeah. I'm excited. Hopefully this will at least give me a good excuse to fucking actually start posting, like, pet pics on, like, Patreon. Because I said I was going to do that forever ago, and then it was a little bit more work than I was doing at the time, so I was, like, not doing that shit. So I fucking didn't. Whoops. Oh. Oh, yeah. I'm so excited to watch in Junior grow, too. I have been trying to get, like, some measurements of him before he goes... before he grows, rather. I can actually track that. Very exciting. Yeah. Honestly. Yeah, it's a decent I just fucking... I'm gonna call a stream here soon. Did I miss anything? No. That was everything I wanted to say, like what actually happened over the break. And also a brief blood intermission from my fucking face. But aside from that, yeah. Like, it was a good break. Happy to be back. I did mean to work on other things during the break. But, like, that was fucking wishful thinking, clearly. Because the first week I was away, and even though I had the stuff I wouldn't technically need, I was spending time with my partner. And after that, I had family over. And I was not streaming shit with family in the house. Right? Fuck that shit. Oh my god. Nightmare. Yeah. It's gonna be like the next video coming along good. There's very little left to do for it, but the bits that were left to do are coming along good. I don't know. It needs definitely needs more footage. I'm gonna work on that. I won't, but I probably should. Yeah. I feel like I'm just trying to carry out, like, what the fuck was that sentence trying to be? Try that from the top. Let's just try. I feel like I'm trying to just, like, continue saying stuff because it feels a little weird to end stream so early. But also, I've said everything that I meant to say and wanted to say during the Just Chatting stream. And also, ain't no one fucking here anymore. They either went to bed or went to do other shit. And I don't know. Feels unnecessary to continue. I have fucking Dark Souls. I'm honestly really excited for Dark Souls. I'm really excited for Dark Souls because I have not played a classic Souls. Like, the closest I've ever gotten is, like, I think Sekiro or Elden Ring. Neither of which adhere to the Souls-like thing super like, strongly. And also, I've realized, or I've learned, that Dark Souls 1 has like the most busted form of poise in the series, especially with like Elden Ring, where it's like, cool, if you have the max poise in the game, you can take like 2 attacks. Wow. Like, poison's not great in fucking Elden Ring. Oops. It still worked for me, though. And this time it'll work even better for me. Just take all the fucking damage. Fuck y'all. Yeah. Hope to see you on... I believe that one's Friday. I might even have the video done on Friday. I'm going to try and have it done on Friday. But... I don't know if I'm going to get it done by Friday. I'll do my best. Fucking see. Anyway. I hope to see you all there. But until then... Thank you for coming, they did. I hope to see you all again next time. Take care of yourselves out there. Take care of each other. And, bye-bye, everyone.